Traditionally, what has been connected to the mobile network was the mobile phone, but as we look ahead, it's no longer just the handset, but sensors, cars, appliances that industry must ensure meets the same level of security as your mobile device. Here to tell us more about new security solutions that are cloud ready is Stefan Jung. He's the head of product line security at Ericsson. And Stefan, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Abe.
I know you pronounce your name a little bit differently, but I did my best, and I pronounced it Stefan, so I hope that's acceptable.
You did well.
Okay, thank you. I want to start off with a quote that I found from you at a previous event, I would imagine, and it goes like this. You recently said, as more services migrate to the cloud and more information is held in the cloud, it's clear that we need data-centric security solutions. Sort of on a high level, what does that mean?
Yeah, that means that we can no longer really trust in only protecting the perimeter. Since data is moving around in a cloud, you really don't know where the perimeter is because it can be actually hybrid clouds that is sort of distributed on quite a large geographical space. So with that, we see that there's a need actually to bring the protection to the data itself, and that protection needs to follow the data wherever that data goes. So you should always be able to verify that no one is actually interacting with your data, well, at least not unauthorized, and also really to be able to track where your data is. Because that can have some regulatory implications. You need to do that, really.
Part of your statement referred to the traditional way of cybersecurity architecture was to build a fence around the data, but that has changed somewhat now.
I think we all see that you need to build the sort of limit access to very sensitive data, obviously, but we see that that's not enough, really. You need to do more, and you need to actually be able to instrument who is interacting with the data and continuously supervise that sensitive data so you actually can have immediate awareness when you do have a compromise. Because there's no perimeter defense that will actually guarantee that you will not be compromised. So I think that's the reason why we see that we need to bring the protection a step further down into the data itself as well.
Let's talk further, Stefan, about a secure network society. What are the primary principles, tenets of a safe and secure network society?
I think for the network society really to happen, we need to be able to trust that the networks are there, the availability, so we can actually build applications that are dependent on always connected world, and also that the integrity of those systems are sort of monitored and supervised, and also that the privacy issues are solved. So so any individual or organization can actually reach its full potential and rely on the infrastructure to support that.
And I know Ericsson recently launched the first network-based authentication implementation over LTE and Wi-Fi. First of all, tell us about that, but second of all, tell us how that plays into next-generation wireless networking, i.e. 5G.
Yes, so that authentication is one way we are solving the challenge of these devices and enable them to authenticate without using keys. And I think when we have this scenario of 50 billion devices or whatever figure you actually put there, the challenge is really to manage those from a security perspective without keys, because I don't think no one ever dreams of handling these type of numbers with keys. You know, key management is a very cumbersome effort, and you need to revoke the keys, you need to renew the certificates and so on, and that's really not possible in those type of volumes.
Now, Ericsson has also launched a number of other security solutions. I know there's a list of them. Can you just tell us about a couple of those?
Yes, we're launching a portfolio which we call the Datacentric portfolio, where we really bring down the level of protection down to the data itself. And this can be applied in many different environments. and on any type of network actually. We have in any corporate network, we call it cybersecurity protection, where we actually instrument all the assets that build up that network and have immediate awareness on when you do have a issue, an unauthorized change that actually represent a compromise. So you will have immediate awareness. That's quite a big step forward, because today the mean time from an attack starts until it's discovered is 205 days. So we bring down that time to sort of a sub-second level. And that really impacts the damage then, of course, what that attack can do.
What about big data regulatory compliance?
Yes, here's where we apply the technology to actually, in a big data Hadoop environment, so we can actually separate out the personal identifiable information from the ingestion of entering into the system, and all the way through its processed and then eventually stored. So we can actually prove to the regulator that we handle the personal identifiable information in a way that is according to the regulation and policies you have. And this is quite unique to be able to prove that without actually the need to trust anyone, because we actually publish this evidence in a global blockchain. And that's so widely witnessed evidence. So you can prove it, I can prove it, so you don't have to trust a third party to prove that the authenticity of that data.
How about, Stefan, how about industrial infrastructure assurance?
Yeah. This is really where we apply the technology on any industrial control loop. So we're working with a lot of different industries here. One of them being mining industry. A mine today is highly automated, and of course getting that system to be having the assured integrity is really what we can provide for those type of industrial assets.
Stefan, I want to finish by talking about anything on Ericsson's horizon, sort of maybe a bleeding edge technology in the IoT space as far as security goes.
I think
can you talk about it?
Yes, I can talk about it because it was announced just 2 weeks ago. So we have a new authentication mechanism that we are really hoping can replace the need of RSA and PKI in the future. So that's been sort of scrutinized in all the standardization bodies, and all the mathematicians are on it. But we think that can really play a major role in having a very simple way to authenticate all these devices and assure the integrity of them.
Well, Stefan, I know Ericsson is doing a whole lot to help lead the way in the security space for the Internet of Things and for the network as a whole. So we appreciate your effort there. And I'm sure I'll see you down the road a bit on the same topic, same subject, different event probably.
Yes.
All right, Stefan.
I'm sure about that as well. Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. Thank you. And for all of our coverage of TI 2015 Network of the Future, please log on to tinow.org. So long.